Hi, VC. It's Danny. Got a little haul from the weekend here, so I thought I'd show you what I got. Um, Start with kind of a disappointment. Um, I was very excited to find this Dave Van Ronk album. Uh, Andrew had highlighted this recently as being a really good one to pick up. It's on Mercury, just like the one that I showed in my last video. I thought it was great. Um, it's a white label promo, which is even more exciting. But when I got it home and played it, um, it has heat warp. So it's just a sleeve with a disc in it now. Um, but I picked that up at Freakbeat Records, where I went for Small Business Saturday. I skipped Record Store Day, Black Friday, and I just kind of shopped the leftovers. Um, and I'll start here. The biggest reason I wanted to go out for Small Business Saturday was to pick this up. We're All Gonna Live by Dawes. This is a double live album, which they had released on YouTube months ago, but was just pressed to vinyl for Small Business Saturday. I guess they're trying to push those exclusives to be kind of an all weekend thing now. But I'm a big fan of Dawes. I think they're a great band. Um, and I got to see this tour when it came to my area. So I was really after this. I was excited to pick this up. It was, 12, $14 for a double LP, which was a nice deal, and I was really excited to get it. It's not it's a solid live album. It's not too late to stop now, but it's really great. So here was another one that I picked up. This was reissued on ORG. This is Albert Eiler and Don Cherry, Vibrations. And I've just been kind of curious about Albert Eiler since I saw him mentioned on Andrew's mentioned him a couple times. And I was out at my local a little while after that, and I saw some originals, and I can't afford those. So I was excited to see this reissue. It's on this kind of blue swirl. It's pressed at Palace in Germany. It's really nice pressing, really nice album. It was funny, the first track played, and I was like, oh, this isn't as challenging as I was expecting it to be. And then as it went on to the second and third track, it got challenging. So this is going to take a little work, but I'm very excited to put that work in. Yeah, I think I've found my path into some more difficult jazz. And so thanks, Andrew, for the recommendation. And there's Albert Allen and Don Cherry. This one, I guess, kind of an impulse buy. This is Steve Earle, El Corazon. Actually, I'm unfamiliar with this album. I just know that I like Steve Earle. He's one of those artists who I've kind of put no work into. I've just enjoyed anytime I've seen him perform on TV or in a video, or heard one of his songs, or heard him on a comp, or however I've come across his music, I've always enjoyed it. Um, and it's a repress of a '90s album that never got pressed, or it's a first pressing of a '90s album that never got pressed. I figured, as close to sound investment as you're gonna get. Um, but anyway, Steve Earle, El Corazon. I haven't put any time, still haven't listened to this one, but looking forward to it. Next up, I was really excited. This is the last thing I grabbed over at Freakbeat. It was just sitting on the wall. This is Kumasi Washington, Harmony of Difference, new EP that he put out. And this is another one Andrew mentioned. And he mentioned that it was getting harder to find. Just thank you for that heads up. I had my eyes peeled because of that. And I'm really, really glad. I love the Epic. The Epic is Kumasi Washington's first album, and it's epic. It's a box set, 3 LPs. It's an intense experience. I believe this music was first written for a performance at the MoMA that Kumasi Washington put on. It's, from what I can tell, it's kind of like a song cycle where each song is a different melody with a counter melody against it, I think is what the liner notes were saying. It's 2 melodies creating a harmony. And I haven't finished listening to it, but I think it builds and then everything kind of comes together and it all plays at once. It's really beautiful stuff. It's very accessible, but accessible accessible in the way that, Coltrane is accessible before Ascension and stuff. It's spiritual. It takes you somewhere. It's full of ideas. I think calling it an EP made me think I was only in for a couple songs. I think this might as well be an album. Anything is an EP compared to the Epic. But yeah, I was thrilled to pick this up, and excited to spend some more time with it. So that's my record store day haul. But this I had ordered. I had my wife order for me actually, and it showed up on Small Business Saturday. This is Iron and Wine's Archive Series number 4. Iron and Wine, Sam Beam, is one of my favorite artists, and he's recently started his own label, Black Cricket Recordings, and he started reissuing rarities, basically. The stuff that never made it out. And series number 4, until very recently, was only available on tour. And he recently made it available on his website. I believe it's a different color vinyl. It's a pink vinyl, I think. Tour was like an orange. But these are demos, acoustic demos, from the Shepherd's Dog period. So, Boy with a Coin, Flightless Bird, American Mouth, Resurrection Fern, everything. It's great. It's beautifully recorded. It's, Shepherd's Dog is really where Sam started bringing in full band orchestration, moving his sound a little bit closer to, I don't want to say full-on jam band, but there was some of that coming into the music. So what's really kind of cool about this is it's what if, I think this is the 3rd album, but what if he had continued with that, man in an acoustic guitar sound, just a cleaner recording. This is maybe a glimpse into what that would have been. It's really beautiful stuff. If you see this, it's well worth picking up. I think these tracks are pretty available outside of this record. I think they're pretty freely available online. So, that now brings me to some finds that I had recently out at my local shop. So Dawes, who I mentioned before, are really hugely inspired by the Allman Brothers. And I have very little experience with the Allman Brothers. I kind of have a confession to make. I've never had like a classic rock period. I know what I know, but I'm ignorant to what I'm ignorant to, which is a lot. So I was excited to find these out at my local. This is the Allman Brothers Eat a Peach. It's on the Capricorn label. That's just the inner sleeve. Which I am assuming would some kind of family label for the band, but and I'm sure this is probably super common knowledge to a lot of people. I'm sorry. But yeah, I didn't know any Allman Brothers. I listen to this band Dawes all the time, who's like couldn't exist without the Allman Brothers. So I knew this was a big album for them. So I thought that's a safe grab. Turns out I know the song Melissa. Friend's dad used to play it all the time. And I also there was a whole collection. I picked what I thought looked like the best stuff. This is Brothers and Sisters, also on Capricorn. There's a gatefold here. So many of them. But yeah, I don't know what I don't know what I'm talking about with this, but I'm excited to dig into this. I've liked what I've listened to, and some of the liner notes for this next one, I've become a little more interested in what's going on. I didn't realize. These are really showing you the depths of my ignorance about this band. I didn't realize that Duane passed so early in the band's career. I didn't realize he died in a motorcycle accident. But I saw this Duane Allman anthology as well. And all I knew was that Duane's playing was something I wanted to look out for. But so I grabbed this, but this came with this really nice booklet. There's lots of great write-ups. And I skimmed it a bit and got enough of the story filled in for me that I understand a little bit more anyway. Certainly understand that Duane was an incredible talent, and his death was a tragedy, for sure. This record is really cool. It's just a nice mix of stuff. There's some stuff he did with B.B. King, Hey Jude, which I want to say he did with Wilson Pickett. The Wait with Aretha Franklin, which I really love that song from the single version that I own. I didn't realize it was Duane Allman playing. There's some Allman Brothers stuff from the earlier live albums, I think Statesboro Blues, and some other songs. I don't know. Again, everything I listened to on here, I thought was really great, and I was excited to grab this, and I'll be interested to spend some more time with it. It's immediately the needle hits the turntable, and I realized how much of this music that I'd already been enjoying owes a debt to the Allman Brothers, and it's a little embarrassing to be this old and a self-professed music fan and only now becoming aware of them, or not becoming aware of them, but becoming interested in them. But what can you do? I'm here now. And one last thing, finding those felt a little serendipitous because I had just ordered this on eBay and it just showed up. And this is Johnny Jenkins, Ton Toot Macoot. This is another recommendation that Andrew made. And I think he called this a lost vinyl classic. I didn't even finish the first side. I didn't have time. But the first two tracks on this blew me away. I was floored. It was like jaw open. It was amazing. From the break beat that or for lack of a better term, the amazing drum solo that opens I Walk on Gilded Splinters. The energy of that song. yeah, I'm really excited to have this. And you know what pushed me over the edge into wanting to get this was um, that Duane Allman plays on this, and I was like, you know, it's time for me to get into the Allman Brothers. So when I went to my local and they had a stack of Allman Brothers, it just felt kind of serendipitous. Um, so this is also on Capricorn. So it's actually um, a later repress, a '74 repress of this album. Um, which I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to learn this lesson. I jumped on this because I checked what first pressings were selling for on Discogs. It was a whole lot of money, so I was like, "Oh, this is a great deal." And then when it came and I went to add it to my Discogs, I realized I'd been hasty in my research, and this is about worth what I paid for it. Um, but it's fine with me. You know, it's a corner cut. But other than that, it's in beautiful condition. The record's in beautiful condition. That's what matters. The music on here is incredible. That's also the important thing. Yeah, like I said, I only listen to I Walk on Gilded Splinters and Leaving Trunk, and it was great. There's a track on here on this Duane Allman. I can't tell which one. One of the tracks on this comp is Johnny Jenkins, um, and it was great. It was fine, but still, I wasn't really prepared. And that's another thing. This may be foolish, but when I sample an album online, I only sample enough to know if I like it or not, if I'm interested in it or not. I really like to not listen to the record until I've got the record, if I can. So I went into this, pseudo blind, but it paid off huge. I'm really, really thrilled to have this. So thanks, Andrew, for the recommendation. And yeah, Johnny Jenkins. If Andrew says something's a lost classic, pay attention. I so far have not been steered wrong by Andrew's recommendations. Um, yeah, so I didn't plan to do that much purchasing this weekend. It just kind of happened. So yeah, there's the haul that I didn't plan on getting. Anyway, thank you everyone for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. Hi, Grandma's handbag. Really appreciated that comment yesterday or the other day. But anyway, yeah. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you soon.